Welcome to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Notify Me Every Time. I realize there are jobs where notifying your boss when you leave your desk or post is a normal practice. However, that was not the case at this job. We had top secret clearances and handled collateral secret equipment and sensitive encryption key material on a regular basis. They assumed we were adults and generally treated us as such. I was an airman in the Air Force working in ComSec. It's difficult to fully explain this job to people who have never done it. The short version is glorified inventory management with penalties for messing up, including but not limited to prison time. We were working out of a temporary facility and not all of us in ComSec could fit in the secure room. So we were spread out in multiple offices. I and my direct supervisor shared a small office while my manager was in a different one. One day I did what all civilized humans do at least once a day and went to the restroom. I came back, my supervisor said Sergeant Smith was looking for you. So I went to her office. Yes ma'am, you wanted to see me? Why weren't you at your desk? I was just using the restroom ma'am. You need to be at your desk at all times, and when you are not, you need to let me know. Yes ma'am. At the time, besides email for computer communication, we were using Skype. It was common practice in that office to send quick messages to each other over Skype. So I made sure to let her know every time I left my desk using Skype, just as she ordered me to. Every bathroom break, every drink from the water fountain. I even notified her I was leaving my desk to come to talk to her after she told me to come to talk to her. Every single time. I left my desk, she was notified. Ma'am, I got up from my desk to grab a Form 16 from the printer. Why are you using a printer in a different room? I'm not, but I have to leave my desk to retrieve it. That was the last straw. She had enough. She told me to stop telling her when I leave my desk, except when I leave for lunch. The next story is called Transfer Me to the Store. This happened years ago when I was working in a call center to put myself through uni. I worked in the call center for a major family entertainment company. We had multiple brands under the company umbrella, and this call center managed calls for every store nationally. Unless you already had the phone number for a specific store saved and they weren't available online anywhere, there was no way you would get through to a store without speaking to us first. We handled all bookings, cancellations, refunds, inquiries, etc. for every store. We were able to handle about 99% of inquiries without involving or bothering the store. The reason the call center existed was to make life easier for both the staff in store and the customers. It could be very busy and noisy in our centers. By speaking to us, we could quickly and efficiently handle bookings and inquiries without store staff being distracted from their other work. And without the customer on the phone having to deal with all the background noise and being put on hold while staff deal with issues in the store. We were upfront about the fact that we were a call center and most customers didn't care. We were not outsourced, we were employed directly by the company and based at the head office. So in many ways we were actually in a better position to help them than the stores. As if I really wanted to help someone, I could actually go straight over to Bob from marketing and ask about the terms of the latest deal, or ask Jane from finance to fast track a refund. Occasionally you would get a Karen that would complain that they just want to speak to the store directly, but most people were pretty good. One day I got a phone call from what I thought was just an average customer. She clearly didn't hear my intro where I say, "Thanks for calling the company name National Contact Center." She wanted to book a birthday party for her child at one of our bowling alleys and was perfectly pleasant throughout most of the process. This was a very last minute party, booking just over a week out, so we already had lots of bookings in the system for the bowling lanes. She had tried booking online and wasn't able to, because there weren't enough free lanes next to each other for the party. I was able to move some bookings to different lanes in the system backend for her and free up enough lanes for her booking. Birthday party calls were slightly longer than regular bookings as there are a lot of variables to go through, and unlike regular bookings we have to take a deposit. Because of this, we actually used the same website booking system to make birthday bookings that customers could use themselves online, instead of our usual backend system that we use for most bookings. That's because it automatically takes us through all the questions and the deposit step by step. It's also important to note that when you use the online booking tool, it creates a temporary booking in the system that lasts for half an hour. This is to ensure that no one else can swoop in while you are booking and steal your spot. If you complete the booking within 30 minutes, it's yours. If you don't, it frees the space up for someone else to book. I go through the entire booking process with the customer and get to the very last step, the deposit. As usual, I read out our policy regarding taking a credit card payment over the phone and something within her snaps. It's as if she only just realized she was speaking to our call center. However, I suspect it was simply because she didn't want to pay the deposit. Why am I talking to our call center when I rang the store? You actually ring the call center, as we don't publish numbers for the stores. This is to ensure a smoother process for you and make sure our staff in store can be focused on the customers in front of them. I don't care, I want to speak to the store directly. I don't want to speak to our call center in India. The call center is not in India, and I don't have an Indian accent. I tried explaining that her booking would need to start again if she is transferred to the store, but she didn't listen and demanded to be transferred. I did exactly as Karen asked and transferred her to the store. I spoke to the store manager before completing the transfer and explained the situation, and he was cool with it. Looking in our backend, I knew that there was no way she would be able to make her booking until the 30 minutes was up, as the temporary rebooking created by the system was still there. Eventually I moved on to other calls and forget about her. Until 2 hours later when she calls back, wanting to book again. This time she is through from the out, immediately demanding to be put through to the store. I waste her time reading her the official statement about how I can help her with all inquiries, etc. She demands to be put through, and ultimately I asked why, as I won't transfer without a reason, and even though I remember her and know the reason, I want to hear her say it. I take great pleasure in telling her that unfortunately we are fully booked on that day, as someone else had booked out the only lanes we had available in the meantime. Of course, this answer was unacceptable to her, and she demanded to be put through to the store again. I transfer her and speak to the same manager again, who tells me that he couldn't book her because of my backend booking from earlier, so he advised her to call back later to book. She asked him for the direct store number, but he refused to give it, meaning she had to call me back, and I got to inform her that the party would no longer be happening, all because she had to act like a Karen. The last story is called The Forgotten Ice Cream. In the mid-90s, during my sophomore year of high school, my friend Trevor and I decided to take near full-time jobs doing night stock at a grocery store during summer break. Trevor gets assigned to work frozen foods, ice cream, etc. I got assigned production, which was opening all of the boxes, putting them on the right floors for the aisles, and then once the truck is unloaded, stock the paper products aisles. Night stock employees are full of interesting characters. The night stock manager is named Don, and Don isn't quite right. He drools, slurs his speech, and is kind of an irate jerk who is always white, making him a somewhat unpleasant individual to work for. We had 2 powered pallet jacks, but one of them was destroyed the night before when Don had started to unload a truck but didn't realize the driver was still moving the truck. So it fell off the dock and almost crushed him. The very next day, Trevor had just pulled a pallet of ice cream out of the freezer using the remaining jack. He was stocking the shelves when Don demanded that he drop everything and bring the jack to unload tonight's truck. Trevor resisted and tried to explain he needed to get the ice cream in the freezer, at which point he was cut off by Don, who restated to immediately convert him and to do what he was told. Trevor complied and left the ice cream to help unload the truck with the jack. About this time, the produce truck shows up and also needs unloading. Trevor, being the ever-compliant employee, follows Don's orders to unload the second truck. Hours have gone by. I'm stocking the paper aisle when the floor crew comes by, physically distraught. The forgotten pallet of ice cream is much shorter than it was, and there's a slick mix of ice cream oozing out from underneath and heading to the floor drains. Don runs over and loses it, tells Trevor he's fired. Trevor cusses out Don and leaves. In the morning, the store manager shows up and is briefed as to last night's hilarity. After the manager asks around and gets a better picture of the event, he calls Trevor, promotes him to assistant frozen food manager, and tells him he no longer reports to Don. For the rest of the summer, Trevor spent his time handling frozen foods and making Don's job harder whenever possible. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.